position, the way you're putting your hand, are you bending her too much? Are you doing the, you know, you see where she puts that stirrup and stops her feet. And she's not going to kick her ass out and do this and that. And and she's not going to move when you get on her, and you're not going to be holding onto her face, which a lot of people, their first thing to do is grab her.
Right.
Well, she should be backing up if you're doing that.
She just stands there for her.
That's what she's supposed to do. She knows I don't move until she tells me. We're not going anywhere.
Right.
And if we do, we're probably going to back up a couple steps. So she never anticipates going forward from there. She anticipates doing nothing. Getting rubbed on. How's my softness? You paying attention to me, hon? Lateral, vertical. Rub on her and just, you know, make sure she's soft in the face. And then she'll pick her up with two hands. Just do lots of rub and say, hey, give me your jaw, honey. So everything just builds, you know. It's just about getting them solid. And just getting them confident about what they're doing. So it doesn't matter where she goes from here, whether she goes from dressage, she goes to jump, and she goes to reining, she goes to cow. You know, it's all the same. She's got to have foundation.
Yeah.
She's got to have good impulsion. She's got to be able to stay in gear without breaking gates or jumping into a lope or jumping into this. She's got to think about getting in the ground and stopping and backing up. That's where collection comes from. That's where rate comes from. When you pick a horse up, and if you can't peg one or slow down their feet and they won't come in, it's hard to set up for certain jumps or doing a ton of different things. They got to come back to you. The softer her body is, the more you can move her shoulders, her ribs, and her hips, the straighter you can get a horse.
Right.
If they're stiff, all you got to do is pull one by the face. Well, it's not the face is your problem. It's the hips stuck out here. The shoulders over there into the fence. You see what I'm saying? So when you can't move anything, you can't straighten anything. And then they just get heavier and heavier, and they get stiffer and stiffer. Because so you don't hurt their mouth.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
They're anticipating, you're going to pull on me. You're going to... So if you want self-carriage with softness, you gotta have soft hands, and that comes from understanding mechanics and angles and the difference between teaching and show riding, or you know, everything is exaggerated when you teach, and then you keep chipping away at it until you refine it. Right? You exaggerate to teach, and then you refine as you go along. So she's just driving out there, and she just keep asking her, see, give me face, without making her uncomfortable. Give me that jaw, legs on, hands on. She'll release legs and hands together. And she's building it. Pretty soon she can go farther and farther and farther. It started from a standstill, then it's built at a walk, and then to a trot, and then finally to a canter.
She looks nice and smooth.
But you notice how relaxed she is in her cadence?
Yeah.
Even when you pick her up in the face, she doesn't break cadence there.
Yeah, she's pretty smooth. Yeah, she's got a pretty comfortable stride.
She stands up nice and straight. And then you can accentuate suspension, lift, stride, you know, from your seat and your legs. And teach them, and just build on it. Where you release is what you teach. So it's just all about where they're going from there. And see, she never touched her face there. All she did was stop posting and just relax, and that mare's feet she just comes back to her like that. So we never tell a horse, whoa, only when we're stopping.
Okay.
You never wall a horse to slow down.
Right.
So
otherwise
you're teaching them that that doesn't mean stop.
Right.
Right.
So if we want her to stop, we sit down, make light contact, woo, you know, and as clear as we need. So she's getting 3 cues. See, she just stopped her off her seat just then. She just opened her feet, sat down, She wants her to pick up her knees big and step into that pretty, not drag her front feet. There. She doesn't have to do a lot. She just has to be correct. And then you can add speed, more softness, more carriage, more roundness to that as you go along. But she can't do, but you notice how she doesn't do anything with fear? Or she doesn't look like she's anticipating or getting bracey, because if so just building consistency where she can lope around with cadence and softness. And then sometimes we'll put out cones, a lot of cones, and she'll work at point-to-point exercises, straight line. You know, will she follow this line she's on right now and basically kind of stay in those tracks without getting anal about it, you know, with these young horses. The more you lope them and the more correct you are about certain things, see, she's guiding her around, directing her. But you notice how soft the rein is just flopping?
Yeah. Yeah, she's not.
Right, she can't be, she's not worried about her hands. She's just thinking, oh, for Christ's sake, we're going to take a break, right? We're going to take a break. So she picks up her rein to direct her. She doesn't get bracy and worried about her being rough with her hands. She follows a feel because she knows she'll escalate that pressure. And then the more loping around they do, the better they get at it. They start to find cadence. They start to realize, well, this friggin' arena never ends. You could lope for a couple of minutes, or you might lope for 20 minutes. So they start to slow down to conserve energy because there's nowhere to go. In the beginning, to get to doing this, to look like Jesus. It looks like I could put anybody on her to ride her. You know, she stands up, she goes deep into her corners. Well, there's a reason she does that, and there's things we do to make sure she stands up. Not by you picking up her shoulders at this point and trying to push her over and doing it. It's just exercises. It's outside circling in her corners. It's doing different things to where she knows, you know, she may be changing direction. So she'll just shorten her up. She's just testing her, you know, and she'll ask her to come around the inside and start shortening up her circle. And if I ask her to go over here and follow the fence, will she do that, you know? That's good, hon. She don't have to work too hard. Just push her over laterally and
there.
see her step right across with her front feet and her lateral movements, and always back out of your lateral movements.
Oh, back out. Okay.
Always, okay? Everything in a horse's body, especially when you take them off the fence when you're teaching, and you take them out in an open air and you're doing side passing, everything pressure is a tendency to want to go what? Forwards. So you always back out of lateral movements. So they're thinking, come across, if anything, she's moving from there. It's not forward, it's back, okay? That builds collection, elevating shoulders and getting them back on their hocks. Everything transpires there. So see, she doesn't have to be fast, she just has to be correct. And then she'll start getting her hands closer together. She'll start getting her face straighter and straighter, more vertical, bigger. And we just build on that until you go, oh, that's really freaking clean. And now when you have that stuff, our lateral movements, our leg yields, our two tracking, across on our diagonals, on this and that, it's like, that stuff is easy. Because she can keep forward movement. Doing her diagonals, yielding on a 45s and different things. And then it's just like, oh, this is shit. This is easy compared to doing this. But you see, you push her around laterally, she doesn't get strong with the hand. She's not, look at where her head is. It looks like you just gave her a joint, you know? She just chilled out and relaxed, and she's not worried. She knows what to do. She knows what you're telling her. If you increase pressure, she knows how to get off of pressure and how to look for the right answer, because she knows it's there. I'm just not moving big enough.
How'd she get her to go laterally? Was it leaning? Was it, I just couldn't
You don't
see her
lean.
do anything.
No, there's no leaning.
leaning.
It's just picking up legs and shifting your weight in your seat and opening doors with legs.
Okay.
Leg on, this leg's off. Always go through the open door.
Because I couldn't see
And
her.
then escalation with the crop. And you start to teach that stuff on a fence. That blocks forward energy. The first thing you do is get good hip control. Good hip movement. If you can't stack the hips right, you never start lateral work or side passing. Everything is just a progression. Then you go from lateral work to disengaging hips to looking at the fence, walk her down the fence, lateral, disengage, look at the fence. And pretty soon, you pick up this outer hand, this hand's the shape, not pulling too much, directing, seats over, and you just get them to yield and drift a hair. Oh, yeah, there you go, rub, walk out, yield, drift a hair. And then pretty soon you're going post to post.
Okay.
Then you're going 2 posts down. Everything is finding correct starting points and then go from there. If you don't have a starting point, you're screwed.
Okay.
Or
I couldn't see where she was asking.
or you don't
her.
have the pieces in order, depending on the horse and the problem. She needs more of this. Get it right to it. Let her step there. I want her, that stirrup right in the middle of that block. She says, oh, thank God, she already knows. First thing you do is loosen your cinch. Rub on your horse. And she's thinking, oh, yes, baby. So how many times do you think she needs to do that before she understands? That helps her understand even position even better. How's this? How's this? Get your fat ass over here.
Probably not that